Here we are, my favourite little reviewing spot on this nice open area. Some of you will notice this is my drone launch spot, but we're here to talk about the bike. Here's the suspension in the seat. It's very simple, but it does work. I've not got a sore arse. And power wise, we're at 3 or 4. One thing to note, when you go uphill, it does drop down to 1, which is a little worrying at times. But then when you freewheel or go downhill, it goes back to 4. So even though I'm at 3 bars, if I check the actual power here, that's still saying I've got 80% charge left. Whew. I mean, that's great, but I've used 20% in half an hour, and I don't really have time to be out for another 2-3 hours. I'm trying to wear the battery down as quick as I can, but you know, covering 12 kilometers, what's that, 7 or 8 miles, it's took me about half an hour. So yeah, it's going well, isn't it? So I'll leave that with you, and I'll continue to try and run the battery down, and yeah, so far so good. All right guys, see you in a bit. Okay, back at it. In the last clip, you may have noticed a pannier. That doesn't come with these bikes. That was a Aldi bargain, or it may have been little. I think it was 10 quid for 2. But I've only put 1 on because I was worried it'd hang in the chain on the right hand side. But 1 pannier, 10, 15 quid. It's all good. Just a little disclaimer, don't expect to get one for free with these bikes. Quite pleasant. It's all going well. Okay, we're back down the bumpy drive. Right, let's have a look. Okay, stats. I've done 14 kilometers in about half an hour, and the power on the bike is 50%. I do need to do some proper range tests, and I'd rather do it all in one go. The purpose of this video is to show you 6 months later, not to necessarily re-review a perfectly good bike. Okay, that was a bit close. So yeah, it's a little dirty. It's just dust, it's a bit of dirt. And bear in mind this plastic plate with the magnets on it, that's so the motor knows it's going round and that it can help you. There might be a workaround there. And bear in mind this is one of the cheaper e-bikes, so I was very concerned with the quality of the bolts and the frame. Now I've not chipped the frame. Oh yes I have. There's a little rub there, and that's not started to rust. Tiny little chain. Still got my motorbike oil on it, so it has been oiled. Yep. Shimano gear set at the back, that's not rusted. That's going to be aluminium, being Shimano. It's not going to be cheap steel. Some of these are going to be cheap steel, a little bit of tiny little bit of rust. But overall, that's rubbing ever so slightly. But it's not a problem. Just push that out a little bit and seems to be problem solved. Let's have a look at the front where the hub is. same thing. The spokes look and feel aluminium. That is good, because that means you're not going to get rust. Unless it's plated steel, but no, that's good. Oh, yeah, a little bit of rust here, but it's very minimal. That'll brush off. So I'm quite happy with that. It's had a relatively tough winter, and it still looks practically new. So we're going to turn it off at both ends. That's already off because that battery's off. I've added the lights aftermarket, they don't come with it. The pannier obviously doesn't. And we're going to leave that there. So that is the big conclusion. That's pretty much the wrap up. We don't need to go into anything else with this bike. Big thumbs up. You know, you're paying 500 quid. This is as cheap as it gets that I found for an e-bike. I quite like the look of it. I wasn't sure about the orange at first, but yeah, it's all right. And it does the job. I'm not out of breath. I had it on full power for the whole test as well. And it wasn't until I overtook 3 sort of cyclists out on a leisurely cycle, not, you know, enthusiast cyclists. This was just a family out for a bit of a tootle. And I left them for dead. You don't realise that you are doing 19, 20 miles an hour. So that's quite nice. And yeah, big thumbs up. Any questions, please let me know. Or if you need any follow-up information or bits and pieces, even basic maintenance. There are lots of videos on YouTube for that already. But I'm perfectly happy to do a video on setting up brakes. It's a very simple V-brake system that's been around 30 odd years. The gears came pre-indexed, meaning they all work. There's only 6 of them. I could show a video if those don't line up. And oiling the chain, don't get it on the tyre. Spray some lubricant on it, not WD-40. Don't use WD-40, it's a degreaser. It will actually take all of that lubrication off your chain. Don't use WD-40. Unless it is WD-40 bike oil. My chain wax is by WD-40, but it's not WD-40. Anyway, let's leave it there. Like and subscribe. There will be more videos on this. I'm hoping to get another e-bike to do a direct comparison, because I'd like to see if there's a difference between this one and I think it's the Osprey. It looks identical, but until I get my hands on one, I won't know. All right, guys, take care. Catch you for the next one.